Oh my God.
He broke 70. That's a big...
Unit was 54.8.
That's 50. It's a big turtle.
So we were wrong. Unit is not the most obese, largest snapping turtle. Our newest rescue is big or bigger. But, whoa, holy cow! Did you get that?
I think so.
You guys have like a gurney?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
But he's so heavy, the container he's in is snapping.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one big turtle. Okay. Yeah.
So I haven't really figured out how to handle him yet because it's kind of impossible, but I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think I'm gonna tilt the thing towards you.
Oh my God.
He broke 70. That's a big... It's, what, 10 pounds? Almost 10 pounds bigger than Unit.
Unit was 54.8.
That's 50. It's a big turtle.
So we were wrong. Unit is not the most obese, largest snapping turtle. Our newest rescue is.
That is impressive, Chris.
Wait a minute. He's more than Brody.
Yeah,
He weighs more than Brody.
Yeah. 70.2. That's wild. That's huge.
Oh my God.
I don't do human first aid.
Just gonna find a corner probably. A little lower to the ground, honey. Yeah.
And so let's see.
Wow.
Let's see. 18 and a half, almost 19 inches long. He's definitely got a little more of an attitude than common snapping attitude, but
So I want to give you guys a little update on Athena, the largest known eastern Hermann's tortoise in the United States of America. If you guys watched our video from 2 weeks ago that was about tortoise hibernation, we showed you some of the challenges that we were going through. We had 2 sick tortoises, one that was already doing better, but Athena was very questionable. Well, I am so happy to share with you guys that she's doing awesome and improving. The swelling that was down here has gone down considerably from her treatment. It no longer smells foul. There's no discharge. She is eating like an absolute pig and she's doing fantastic. So it is my hope, and I am very optimistic, that come spring she can go back outside with the rest of the eastern Hermann's tortoises and continue going on with this amazing lifespan that she's had. So that's the update on Athena. Gonna continue with her TLC. Now let's get back to this, I don't even know what to call it. All right, so I'm happy to admit that I was wrong. Unit, the snapping turtle that all of you have come to know so well, is actually not the largest, most obese one I've ever seen. This new turtle is. This turtle came to us on Thanksgiving of all times. And, oh, give me a minute here, guys. Oh, jeez. Okay, so how did we end up with this turtle? Well, to try to make a long story short, there was a rescue network that posted about this animal's story on Facebook, and they were looking for a potential good home for it. At this point, the video we did about Unit was really reaching a wide audience, so people out there saw that post and started tagging us like crazy in it. It wasn't long before they reached out to us asking if we would be able to potentially offer this turtle a home. They had seen Unit's story, the whole nine. That pulled on our heartstrings, and even though this is a massive undertaking, we're like, we can't say no to this. We gotta take this turtle in. Now, they described this turtle as dwarfing Unit. They showed us some photos, and you go into something like that thinking like, yeah, sure, okay. This turtle is massive, absolutely massive. And Unit was a big enough deal to begin with because of his condition and his size, but this turtle really is significantly larger than Unit, and essentially double the weight of a common snapping turtle. So we made arrangements to receive this turtle, and it came through the Janet Swanson Wildlife Health Clinic over at Cornell University. So on Thanksgiving, they drove this turtle to us. We accepted him with open arms, and well, here we are now. But the question is this turtle a male or a female? Because typically male common snapping turtles are going to be the larger of the sexes, but of course with any wildlife there's extreme variation, and that's really, really apparent with turtles and tortoises. So this animal actually does look female when we look at the tail and the cloaca and all that. So we've decided to name the turtle after the clinic that she came from. So this is Janet Swanson right here. You guys can refer to her as Janet. And what an absolute impressive turtle. So unfortunately, not unlike Unit's story, this turtle's history is similar. Only 9 years old, but kept in a fish tank to where it couldn't really move around. It outgrew the tank. Snapping turtles are so resilient that they often don't succumb to things the way other species would. So this turtle just kept growing to the point where it couldn't even turn around. These people really loved the turtle and they thought they were doing the right thing, but luckily for Janet, she's now here and she'll have a lot more room going forward and more of a natural type life. Because of what she was fed, commercial diet primarily, on top of a couple other things, there were some health issues. This turtle had to be treated for stomatitis, and she also has a cataract in her eye. But aside from that, her blood work and her x-rays are great. She came with pretty extensive medical records right off the bat. They did a great job checking her out, and that's why she was cleared to be adopted out. And that's why she is here. So now what I want to do is pull Unit out, bring him over here next to Janet so you guys can see the sheer difference in size, but also we'll go over some of the details behind the sexual dimorphism and why we think Janet is in fact a female. So it was really warm out and I was able to grab Unit out of the pond because we released him into the pond last week so that we could compare the two. So it worked out really well for us. Come here, buddy. All right, we've got Unit, we've got Janet, both common snapping turtles, same exact species, both originally out of the state of New Jersey. And the obvious differences right off the bat is, of course, the size. Unit is considerably smaller than Janet, even though they are both absolutely immense turtles, especially for their species. Now, something right off the bat that's interesting is the shell conditions of both. Because these turtles were not raised properly and on a natural type diet and kept awake throughout winter, the whole nine, they have a considerable amount of deformity to their shells. So let's look at Unit first. You can see that his marginal scutes here really kind of flare up like that instead of going downward more. Aside of that, his shell is really not too bad. Not too much of a dip here. We do see that on some wild specimens too. Now, taking a look at Janet, she has something called lordosis right here, and this is where the carapace dips down. It's essentially a dip in the spine. But 9 times out of 10, it is just cosmetic and doesn't affect the turtle long term. It's also hard to say, there's not that much research being done on this kind of stuff in turtles. You can also see that her back end flares up and she's got some wonkiness going on here with those marginal scutes. That's really the best I can describe it. So neither one of these turtles has a wild type shell, again, because of how they were raised. But now what I want to do is take a closer look at the underside of both of them and show you guys why we think that Janet is in fact a female, whereas we know Unit is a male. All right, let's start with Unit. I'll hold him up as long as I can. But generally, you look at that tail. Now, snapping turtles have huge tails no matter what sex they are. But with Unit, it's a little bit thicker And also the cloaca, that vent, seems to be a little bit further down than what we're seeing in Janet. Now, before I move on to Janet, let me just point out that we're dealing with turtles that have been improperly raised. Improper diet, improper care, blown up to a massive size long before they should have even gotten to a decently large size. So they've been askewed basically. So we're kind of having a hard time here being 100% sure who is male or female. In the wild, the turtles that I've worked with in the field, or even turtles that we just see crossing the road, and some other ones we've come across, it's night and day because everything is proportionate. The tail is what it's supposed to be, the head size, the shell shape, the shell size. You know, it's easy to compare two mature, wild-grown adults. So we're really kind of dealing with not the norm here. So what we're gonna do now is pick up Janet, and I'll hold her up as long as I can, and show you what I'm seeing. Oh, this is not gonna be easy. So when we look at Janet, you can see that that puckered vent is a little bit closer to the plastron, and the tail is a little bit thinner. Now, for this turtle to be that much larger than Unit and not have a tail that is considerably thicker and longer and bulkier than Unit, that's what's telling us that this animal may in fact be a female. But what is throwing us off is the size, because the males are typically supposed to be larger. Again, we're not dealing with the norm here, so it's all a big guess right now. But hey, a name is a name, right? So that's Janet and that's Unit. Another comparison I do want to do here is comparing the carapace length. So Janet, whoa, is not happy. 18 and a quarter it looks like. Unit, stop moving, bud. 15 and a half. So we've got an 18 and a quarter inch carapace on Janet and a 15 and a half inch carapace on Unit. Those are big animals. But again, they are not North America's largest freshwater turtle. The alligator snapping turtle is, and I'm going to show you right now. So as you guys know, Chief Brody has come back inside for the winter to put on some more weight because he has the opposite problem than Janet and Unit do. But his species is in fact supposed to be this big or bigger. But, whoa, holy cow!
Holy cow!
So, even though Brody's species is in fact North America's largest freshwater turtle or Colonian species at all, and one of the largest in the world, this turtle right here, Janet, the common snapping turtle, weighs more than him. She is 70.2 pounds and needs to lose weight, whereas Brody is 62 pounds and needs to put on weight. So, you see, pretty amazing. This animal's supposed to weigh that or more, and this animal is supposed to weigh significantly less. But this is just how it goes. This is how it is with rescues and surrenders. So that's a nice comparison. You, my friend, are really getting bold, which is truly incredible because he was not like this when we got him a year ago. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us for winter and spring because both Chief Brody and Janet are going to be staying indoors with us, whereas Unit is going to go back out into the pond that we released him in last week. So there you go. And guys, stay tuned because next week we've got another amazing new arrival to share with you all.